This video is about the widow was mocked her, but a billionaire made her a manager. If this story inspires you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. Part 1. The widow was mocked her, but a billionaire made her a manager. The morning sun spilled through the dusty windows of the small-town bakery, casting golden hues over the flour-covered countertops. Eliza Hopper stood behind the register, her fingers deftly wrapping pastries and arranging fresh loaves of bread. At first glance, she appeared to be just another baker, yet beneath her humble exterior lay her heart burdened with grief. 2 years had passed since her husband, Tom, had been taken from her by sudden illness. They had built a life together over 3 decades, and now it felt like half of her soul was missing. Eliza had been the creative force in their bakery, Sweet Dreams, where the aroma of cinnamon rolls and vanilla cream eclairs filled the air, a haven for locals. But since Tom's passing, the bakery was a shadow of its former self, and Eliza's spirit had dimmed. "Morning, Eliza," chirped Marie, a regular customer, as she walked in, her cheerful demeanor a stark contrast to Eliza's heavy heart. "I've been dreaming about your blueberry muffins all week." Eliza managed to smile, forcing herself to breathe in the moment. "Thanks, Marie, I just pulled them out of the oven." She pointed to the display of muffins, their tops glistening with sugar, but her heart wasn't in it. As Marie chatted about her plans for the day, Eliza's mind wandered. She recalled how Tom would often say, "If you find joy in what you do, it shows in every bite." But now every bite felt like a reminder of what was lost, and the laughter that once filled the bakery had faded into the echoes of the past. In the corner of the bakery, a group of teenagers snickered as they glanced at Eliza. "Look at her, still running that dead-end place," one boy whispered, a smirk plastered across his face. "I heard she can even keep it afloat without her husband." The words pierced Eliza's heart as she quickly turned away, pretending to adjust the muffins. It wasn't just the loss of Tom that haunted her, it was the judgment from others that stung even deeper. They didn't know her story, the sleepless nights spent balancing bills while trying to keep the bakery alive. "Don't listen to them, Eliza," Marie said softly, sensing the tension. "You're doing a wonderful job. You're the heart of this place." Eliza appreciated Marie's kindness, but the shadows of doubt loomed larger. Every day felt like a struggle, and she often wondered if she was simply holding onto a dream no one else believed in. Later that evening, after closing the bakery, Eliza sat at a small table, the light from an old lamp flickering as she counted the day's earnings. It wasn't much, but it was enough to keep her afloat, at least for another month. With a sigh, she placed the bills in an envelope and tucked it into a drawer. "Maybe I should just sell," she murmured to herself. The thought stung. It felt like giving up on not just the bakery, but also on Thomas' memory. The dream they had built together had been filled with laughter and love, and selling would mean erasing the chapter of her life. Just then, the bell above the door jingled, and in walked a tall figure, his presence commanding yet warm. Dressed in a sleek suit, he looked out of place in her quaint bakery. Eliza recognized him instantly. Daniel Hayes, the billionaire entrepreneur known for transforming struggling businesses into success stories. "Good evening," he said, his smile genuine. "I've heard so much about your pastries. Mind if I try a few?" "Of course," Eliza replied, her heart racing. "What would you like?" As she served him, they exchanged small talk about the bakery and the town. Eliza found herself captivated by his enthusiasm for local businesses. He truly seemed interested in her story, listening intently as she recounted the bakery's history and the struggle of keeping it alive after Tom's passing. "I can see the love you pour into this place," Daniel said, his eyes twinkling. "You have something special here, Eliza." His praise did more than just flatter her, it ignited something deep within her spirit hope. For the first time in a long while, she felt seen and appreciated, not just as a widow, but as a woman with a dream. As they talked, Daniel shared his vision for helping local businesses thrive, and Eliza listened, inspired by his passion. "A community depends on its local shops. They bring people together," he said firmly. "And you, Eliza, have a unique gift. I want to help you." "What do you mean?" she asked, curiosity piqued. "I believe with the right guidance, you could expand this bakery into a local chain," he replied, excitement bubbling in his voice. "Let us work together to make Sweet Dreams not just survive, but flourish." Eliza's heart raced at the thought. The idea of her bakery thriving, of bringing joy to more people, felt like a dream she dared not imagine. "But I am just a widow running a small bakery. What do I know about running a business?" "More than you think," Daniel said, leaning closer. "You've kept this place alive despite the odds. that takes strength and resilience. Let me help you channel that into something bigger." Tears pricked Eliza's eyes as she absorbed his words. Here was someone who saw her potential, who believed in her when she struggled to believe in herself. In that moment, she found a flicker of hope, like a small candle fighting against the winds of doubt. I do you like that," she whispered, her voice trembling as she spoke. "I really would." Daniel smiled, a warmth radiating from him that felt like sunlight breaking through a stormy sky. "Good, we'll start tomorrow. Let us lay down a plan and see where this journey takes us." The next day, Eliza woke with a sense of purpose she hadn't felt in a long time. The weight of her grief hadn't vanished, but it felt lighter now, as if Daniel's belief in her had given her the strength to tackle the challenges ahead. When Daniel arrived, he brought not just ideas, but a team of dedicated professionals who specialized in marketing and business development. Together, they sat around a table in the bakery, brainstorming ways to revitalize her business. Eliza felt a surge of empowerment as she contributed ideas. "What if we introduced a line of seasonal pastries that tell a story?" she proposed, her excitement infectious. "Each one could represent a different moment in my life with Tom." "That's brilliant," Daniel exclaimed. The team rallied around her, encouraging her creativity as they mapped out a strategy. Days turned into weeks, and Eliza poured herself into her work. With Daniel's guidance, they launched a new marketing campaign highlighting her story and the bakery's charm. Each pastry had a narrative, connecting customers to her journey and the love that inspired her creations. As business picked up, Eliza also began to foster relationships with local suppliers and artisans, weaving a network of support that enriched her community. It was as if the bakery had found its heartbeat again, and her spirit soared with the joy of creation and connection. But the journey wasn't without its challenges. There were moments of self-doubt and setbacks that threatened to overwhelm her. On particularly tough days, she would sit in the bakery, staring at the empty chairs, feeling the weight of the world on her shoulders. One such afternoon, as she contemplated giving up, she received a message from Daniel. "Remember, growth comes from facing challenges head-on. You're not alone in this." Those words reminded her of the resilience she had built throughout her life. Eliza took a deep breath, wiped her tears, and returned to her work. She remembered Tom's voice echoing in her mind. "You have the strength within you, Eliza." As the weeks passed, the bakery flourished. The new pastries drew in crowds, and her story resonated with many who shared their own struggles. The bakery became not just a place to eat, but a sanctuary of hope and inspiration. With each passing day, as the laughter of customers filled the air, Eliza felt a transformation within herself. The mockery that once stung was now drowned out by the kindness of the community that rallied around her. And just when she thought life couldn't get better, an unexpected challenge arose, one that would test her resilience in ways she never imagined. But for now, she was ready to embrace the journey ahead, filled with hope, determination, and the unwavering belief that the beauty of the human spirit could conquer even the darkest of struggles. # to be continued. # Part 2. The widow was mocked, but a billionaire made her a manager. The sun rose steadily over the bakery, illuminating the vibrant colors of the seasonal pastries that Eliza had created. The scent of rose-infused cupcakes filled the air, making her heart lift with each breath. Mornings and sweet dreams had transformed. The once silent place was now alive with chatter, laughter, and the warm sound of people sharing stories over pastries. Eliza stood in the kitchen, covered in flour, surrounded by a team of enthusiastic young bakers who had joined her journey. "All right, team, let us finalize our plans for the tasting event next week," Eliza said, her voice filled with excitement. Daniel had suggested a launch party to unveil her new line of pastries. It was her chance to show the community how far they had come together. "I think we should have a contest," said Mia, a bright-eyed intern who had a knack for marketing. "Customers can vote for their favorite seasonal pastry, and the winner gets a free baking class." "That's a fantastic idea," Eliza replied, her heart swelling with pride. It'll involve the community and give them a voice in our story. As they brainstormed ideas, each member of her team contributed their own unique twist. The camaraderie that filled the room was a stark contrast to the isolation Eliza had felt just months ago. They were not just employees, they were part of a shared dream, each bringing energy and creativity to the bakery that Tom had started. Eliza glanced at Daniel, who had become a constant source of strength and inspiration. He stood at the corner, reviewing their plans, his presence exuding calm confidence. "You're doing an incredible job, Eliza. Just remember, the most powerful stories come from the heart," he encouraged as he caught her eye. His words resonated deeply within her. There was a palpable shift in the air, an electric current of hope that made her believe in herself again. But just as Eliza was beginning to feel invincible, the winds of fortune took an unexpected turn. A few days later, tragedy struck when a fire broke out in the bakery's storage room due to an electrical fault. The flames devoured the space, and the thick smoke quickly engulfed the rest of the building. Eliza's heart sank as she arrived at the scene, seeing firefighters battling the blaze and her precious bakery going up in flames. "Oh no, not again," she cried, tears streaming down her face. The sense of loss felt all-consuming, like being plunged back into the depths of despair. Just when she had started to find her footing, it all felt snatched away from her. "Stay back, Mom," the firefighter barked as she tried to push through the crowd. "Please, no," she shouted, her heart racing, but she could only stand helplessly as the fire consumed the very place that had become a symbol of her resilience. Her dreams were melting away in the flames, and the weight of uncertainty crashed upon her. "Eliza!" Daniel's voice broke through her despair. He rushed to her side, his face etched with concern. "I am so sorry. Is everyone all right?" I don't know," she stammered, her voice faltering. "What do I do now?" He took her hands in his, grounding her amidst the chaos. "First, let us find out if anyone was hurt. After that, we'll all figure out what comes next together." With his support, Eliza managed to compose herself, realizing that the most important thing was the safety of her team. Thankfully, no one had been in sight at the time, but the damage was beyond what she could fathom. As she surveyed what remained of her bakery, despair threatened to swallow her whole. "Don't lose heart, Eliza," Daniel urged gently. "You've built something beautiful here. A setback like this doesn't erase that." "Easy for you to say." Eliza snapped, frustration bubbling to the surface. "You don't understand what it means to lose everything." "True, I don't," he replied, his tone steady. "But have you seen what you can create? This isn't the end. You have the power to rise from this. You just need to believe in yourself." "I do." His unwavering belief in her kindled a small flicker of hope. "What if I can rebuild? What if no one supports me again?" she whispered, her heart heavy with doubt. "Then I'll help you," he assured, squeezing her hand. "Let us find a temporary space, keep your dream alive, and show the community what you're made of. You're not alone in this." Determined by his words, Eliza rallied her team. "We'll all meet at the community center to bake together. We'll all share our story, and we'll all keep sweet dreams alive, no matter what." That evening, they gathered with a mix of fear and hope in the community center's kitchen, the familiar smells of baking wafting through the air. Eliza led them, her spirit bolstered by Daniel's faith. "It doesn't matter where we are, it's the love we put into our work that matters," she encouraged. It was then that the community began to rally around her. Word spread about the bakery fire, and customers posted messages of support on social media. A local newspaper featured an article about Eliza's journey, showcasing her strength in adversity. "Sweet Dreams is a symbol of resilience," the article read, echoing the sentiments of the townspeople who had cherished the bakery. "Join us in supporting Eliza as she rebuilds her dream." On a cold Saturday morning, Eliza and her team set up a pop-up stall outside the community center, offering their signature pastries for sale. The line snaked around the building as familiar faces from the town showed up, eager to support and share in the community spirit. "Your blueberry muffins saved my mornings," one customer said, as he handed her a contribution toward the rebuild. "I am so grateful for you all," Eliza replied, her voice trembling with emotion. "You're the reason I can keep going. This isn't just my dream, it's ours." As laughter filled the air and voices mingled with the sweet sense of baked goods, Eliza felt hope blossom in her heart again. "Maybe we can turn this around," she thought as she watched her team work with joy and determination. Weeks passed, and the sense of community strengthened. Daniel helped her connect with local businesses, establishing partnerships that would not only aid in rebuilding the bakery but also create a thriving network of support for everyone involved. During a brainstorming session one afternoon, Daniel leaned against the wall, a thoughtful expression on his face. "What if we launched a community baking class? We could use the proceeds to fund the reconstruction of Sweet Dreams." Eliza's eyes lit up. "That is such a wonderful idea. It'll bring people together and celebrate what we love most, baking." As they put the plan into action, Eliza felt a renewed sense of purpose. She learned that adversity didn't break her, it revealed her strength and capacity for connection. Each baking class brought new faces, laughter, and stories that knitted the community closer. On the day of the first class, Eliza felt a mix of excitement and nerves. She stood in front of an eager group, her heart racing as she shared her journey. Together, We'll create something special today. Baking can be therapeutic, a way to transform our struggles into something beautiful. As they mixed batter and shared memories, Eliza realized she was no longer just a widow running a bakery. She was a beacon of hope, a testament to resilience, and a reminder that dreams are worth fighting for. The next few months were a whirlwind of activity. With every pastry they created together, she could feel her spirit rising higher. The love and kindness of her community flowed through the bakery like a warm light, illuminating even the darkest days. Then, the moment came when Eliza received the news she'd been yearning for. They had secured a new location for Sweet Dreams, one that was even larger and more vibrant than before. "Can you believe it?" she exclaimed, her voice filled with disbelief as she shared the news with her team. "We're going to rebuild, and this time, we'll make it even better." Cheers erupted from her team as they embraced, tears of joy streaming down their faces. "We did this together," Mia shouted, her eyes shining bright with excitement. Eliza looked around, the faces of her team glowing with pride and support. "You're my family. Together, we'll make Sweet Dreams a place of hope and joy for everyone." As they began the rebuilding process, the experience reinforced for Eliza the beauty of human connection and the incredible strength that comes from adversity. The laughter, love, and warmth of her community fueled her spirit, filling the resurrected bakery with an energy that was contagious. When the grand reopening of Sweet Dreams finally arrived, Eliza stood at the entrance, a sea of familiar faces before her. The aroma of freshly baked pastries wafted through the air, a comforting embrace that felt like home. "Welcome back, everyone," Eliza called out, her heart swelling with love. "This bakery is a testament to our resilience together. We built it back stronger than ever." The community erupted in cheers, their support echoing through the walls of the bakery. At that moment, Eliza realized her journey wasn't just about baking pastries. The true essence lay in the connections they had forged, the hope they had. Part 3. The widow was martyred, but a billionaire made her a manager. Eliza stood in her newly opened bakery, Sweet Dreams, feeling a whirlwind of emotions. The air was filled with the warm scent of cinnamon and sugar, reminding her of all the memories that had brought her here. With each customer that walked through the door, she felt her heart swell. This was not just a bakery, it was a sanctuary, a testament to her resilience, and a reminder of the community that had rallied around her when she needed it the most. "Can I get a blueberry muffin, please?" the voice called out, and Eliza turned to see a familiar face. It was Marie, her loyal customer who had stood by her side through thick and thin. "Of course, fresh out of the oven," Eliza replied, her voice bubbling with enthusiasm. She grabbed the muffin and handed it over, the warmth of the baked goods reflecting the warmth in her heart. Marie beamed. "You've done it, Eliza. I knew you could. This place feels like home again." "Thank you, Marie. That means the world to me," Eliza said, feeling tears prickle her eyes as she watched Marie walk away, a smile gracing her lips. In that moment, she remembered the desolation she felt when the fire had threatened to consume not just her bakery, but her spirit as well. "Hey, Eliza, what's the best treat for a first-time visitor?" Another voice chimed in, pulling her back to the present. It was Jake, a newcomer who had heard about the bakery from a friend. "Well, you can't go wrong with the chocolate eclairs. They're a crowd favorite," Eliza recommended, her heart light as she witnessed the moment of connection through food. "I'll take 2 then, and maybe I'll leave a review that'll make you famous," he joked, smiling widely. "Just promise you I'll come back," she laughed, feeling a sense of belonging that had seemed so elusive for so long. The morning rush was a symphony of laughter and chatter as customers filled the bakery, a stark contrast to the silence that had once enveloped her after Tom's passing. Each smiling face brought with it a story, a connection, and a shared moment of joy. But as the day wore on, a familiar anxiety began to creep back into Eliza's heart. Despite the success of the reopening, she often found herself reflecting on her journey, haunted by shadows of uncertainty. Would they return? Would she be able to keep this magic alive? "Hey," roused to Eliza. Daniel's voice broke through her thoughts, and she looked up to find him smiling at her. "What is on your mind?" he asked, leaning casually against the countertop, his presence a reassuring anchor amidst her swirling thoughts. "I just can't shake the feeling that this could all slip away again," she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. "What if I can't keep up with this momentum?" "Listen, you've already overcome so much. You have an incredible team supporting you, and a community that adores you in your bakery," Daniel replied, his eyes filled with warmth. "It is okay to have doubts, but don't let them overshadow your achievements." Eliza nodded, taking a deep breath as she absorbed his words. "You're really right. I want to make sure I am doing Tom proud. He believed in this place, in us." And you re-honoring that belief every day you step into this bakery, Daniel said, his tone earnest. Tom's spirit lives on in every pastry you create and in every heart you touch. Eliza felt a wave of gratitude wash over her. In moments of doubt, Daniel remained a beacon of support, reminding her of the strength she possessed. Thank you, Daniel, you've been my rock. Just then, Mia burst into the bakery, her enthusiasm palpable. Eliza, you want to believe this? We've been invited to the annual town fair. They want us to set up a booth. Really? That's amazing. Eliza exclaimed, her heart racing with excitement. We can showcase our seasonal pastries and maybe even do some live baking. Exactly. It'll be a great way to introduce sweet dreams to even more people, Mia added, her eyes sparkling with inspiration. Let us do it, Eliza said, her spirit lifting. As she brushed aside the remnants of doubt, the promise of new possibilities ignited a spark within her. Days turned into a flurry of preparation. The team came together to brainstorm ideas for the booth, laughter and collaboration flooding the bakery with energy. Eliza felt alive with purpose as they crafted a menu that highlighted their most beloved pastries and introduced new creations inspired by their journey. Okay, everyone, what about something that tells our story? Eliza suggested one afternoon, surrounded by her team. A pastry that embodies resilience and hope. What about a layered cake, with different flavors representing each chapter of your journey? Mia proposed, her voice bright with creativity. We could call it the resilience cake. Perfect, each layer could have a unique flavor that tells a part of my story. Eliza replied, her heart swelling with pride for her team. As they worked tirelessly to bring their vision to life, Eliza often caught glimpses of herself reflected in their hard work and determination. She had transformed from a woman lost in grief to a leader guiding her team through challenges, nurturing their collective dreams as fiercely as she nurtured her pastries. Finally, the day of the town fair arrived, and Eliza felt a familiar flutter of excitement mixed with nerves. The team loaded the car with trays of pastries, each one a labor of love. As they drove toward the fairgrounds, the vibrant colors of banners and lights filled her with anticipation. Let us make this a day to remember, Eliza cheered, her voice rising above the sound of laughter and music. They set up their booth, adorning it with flowers and the sweet scents of their treats, and Eliza felt a sense of pride swell within her. As the fair opened, people flocked to their booth, drawn in by the warmth and love that emanated from their setup. Eliza greeted everyone with her characteristic smile, sharing stories behind each pastry and inviting people to sample their creations. Wow, this resilience cake is incredible, the woman exclaimed, her eyes lit up as she savored a slice. What inspired you to create it? Eliza took a deep breath, her heart racing as she prepared to share her journey. This cake represents the ups and downs of life, that is about finding strength in adversity and the support of the community that helped me rebuild. Every bite tells a story. As she spoke, she saw the connection in the eyes of those listening. They nodded, some even tearing up, as they resonated with her journey. In that moment, she understood the power of sharing her truth and how it rippled through the hearts of others. The day flowed beautifully, with laughter and joy interweaving like the notes of a sweet melody. They ran out of pastries by mid-afternoon, and the lines continued to grow, filled with eager faces waiting for a taste of sweet dreams. Amidst the hustle and bustle, Eliza caught Daniel's eye from across the booth. He winked at her, a proud smile etched on his face. It filled her with warmth, knowing she had not walked this path alone and that together they had built more than just a bakery, they had built a community. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the fairgrounds, Eliza found a quiet moment to reflect. She leaned against the booth, taking in the laughter and joy surrounding her. This was what it meant to live fully, to embrace vulnerability, and to rise from the ashes of despair. Hey, Eliza. Mia called, breaking her reverie. We've just been offered a spot at the Farmer's Market every Saturday. Can you believe it? Are you serious? That's incredible. Eliza shouted, her heart racing once more. We can bring our pastries to even more people and continue sharing our story. As the team celebrated, Eliza felt her heart swell with gratitude. She had once been the widow who was mocked, but now she was the widow who had transformed pain into purpose, who had turned dreams into reality, and who had inspired others to reach for their own dreams. In that moment, she understood that life would always present challenges, but it was the connections they forged and the love they shared that would light the way. She glanced up at the sky, where the stars began to twinkle above, and whispered, "Thank you, Tom. I am finally living again." As she absorbed the joy of the evening, Eliza knew one thing for certain. She was ready to embrace whatever came next with an open heart, armed with resilience and the unwavering belief that together they could accomplish the extraordinary. With renewed hope and a spirit ignited by love, Eliza was ready to take on the world, one pastry at a time. Hash to be continued. Hash Part 4. The widow was mocked, but a billionaire made her a manager. The new week began with a crispness in the air that hinted at the arrival of fall. Eliza Hopper stood in her bakery, Sweet Dreams, savoring the comforting aroma of freshly baked goods. The sun streamed through the windows, casting golden rays over the counters that sparkled with evidence of her team's hard work. Each pastry represented not just a recipe, but also a story of hope, resilience, and collective dreams. Morning, Eliza, what's on the menu today? Jake, one of her enthusiastic bakers, asked, wrapping his apron around his waist. His infectious energy always lifted her spirits. Today, we're re-unveiling the pumpkin spice squash sauce and my resilience cake for the farmer's market. It's time to share our story. Eliza replied, a smile spreading across her face. The thought of sharing her journey filled her with excitement. Let us do it, I can't wait to see their faces. Jake responded, his eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. As they prepared, Eliza reflected on how far she had come since the fire. In the face of adversity, she had found a community that rallied around her, a team that believed in her vision, and an unwavering spirit that refused to back down. Yet beneath her excitement lay the subtle undercurrent of anxiety. Are you okay, Eliza? Mia, the vibrant young intern, asked as she arranged the pastries. You seem a little lost in thought. I am, Eliza admitted, taking a deep breath. I just want this to work. What if people don't come? What if it is not enough? Mia placed a comforting hand on her shoulder. You've already done so much. People love you and your bakery. Remember, it is not just about the pastries, it is about the stories we share and the connections we make. Thank you, Mia, you're right. I just need to focus on the joy we're recreating, Eliza said, her heart swelling with gratitude for her team's unwavering support. After hours of preparation, they loaded the car with freshly baked goods. Excitement mingled with nerves. Eliza glanced at Daniel, who stood observing with pride, his presence a calming force amidst her swelling feelings. Ready for this? He asked, smoothing a hand over the table laden with pastries. More than ever, but I am nervous, she confessed, meeting his encouraging gaze. What if it all falls flat? Trust yourself, Eliza. You've already proven that you can rise above anything. Your story resonates with people. Just remember to breathe and embrace the moment, he reassured her, his voice steady and comforting. As the drive to the farmer's market unfolded, Eliza felt the weight of doubt begin to lift. They arrived to find the market bustling with locals eager to embrace the season. Look at the scrad, Jake exclaimed, his eyes wide. They're ready for us. Eliza felt a spark of hope igniting within her. Let us show them what Sweet Dreams is all about, she said, her voice rising with determination as they set up their booth. Within moments, the vibrant colors and enticing scents drew people in. Eliza stood behind the table, interacting with customers while sharing snippets of her journey, each story weaving the community closer together. Your pastries remind me of my grandmother's kitchen, an older woman said as she sampled an apple turnover. It is like a taste of home. Eliza's heart swelled with warmth. Thank you, that is exactly what I aim for, creating a sense of community through food. As the sun began to dip lower in the sky, the crowd around the booth grew larger. People laughed, shared stories, and connected over pastries that carried the essence of hope. Just as Eliza started to feel a sense of accomplishment, a familiar face appeared in the crowd, one she had not expected. Daniel, I thought you were going to be busy today, she said, her surprise evident. I wouldn't miss this for the world, he replied, his eyes glimmering with pride as he surveyed the bustling scene. I wanted to see you shine. Thank you for believing in me, Eliza said, her heart brimming with gratitude. None of this would be possible without your support. Their laughter mingled with the sounds of the market, creating a symphony of joy that enveloped Eliza's spirit. However, just as she was beginning to feel invincible, she was approached by a woman whose expression was far from joyful. Excuse me, the woman said, her tone sharp. I heard about the fire and how you managed to bring this bakery back, but honestly, is it really your dream, or just a way to escape? You read just a widow holding onto a memory. Eliza's heart sank at the sting of her words. For a moment, the world around her blood as self-doubt crept back in, threatening to overshadow the joy of the day. I have put my heart into this place, she stammered, feeling her voice falter. What do you know about running a business? You're just a hobbyist, the woman continued, her tone dripping with disdain. But before Eliza could reply, Daniel stepped forward, a protective aura surrounding him. That is not true. Eliza is not just an owner, she is a visionary. You may not see the strength in her journey, but many others do. The woman scoffed but walked away, leaving Eliza feeling shaken. Don't let her words dim your light, Daniel urged gently, turning to her. You've done more than just run a bakery. You've created a movement of hope. Remember, it is about the love and heart you put into this. Eliza took a deep breath, the clarity of his words washing over her. You're right, I can't allow negativity to overshadow my journey. I've fought too hard for this. With determination renewed, she refocused her energy on the crowd, sharing her story with renewed fervor. People gathered, captivated by her words and the passion that radiated from her soul. This bakery represents the resilience of a community coming together. Together, we create something beautiful. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the market, laughter and cheer filled the air. Eliza felt a renewed sense of purpose. This was more than just a bakery, it was a testament to the human spirit's ability to rise against all odds. That evening, as they packed up, Eliza reflected on the day. We sold out, I can't believe it. Miss squealed, jumping with excitement. It is because of you, Eliza. Your heart shines through every pastry. Jake chimed in, his enthusiasm infectious. In that moment, surrounded by friendship and support, Eliza understood that she was not just a widow, but a warrior, a dreamer, and now a beacon of inspiration. She felt the love of her community wrap around her like a warm embrace, lifting her spirit high. Weeks turned into months, and as sweet dreams continued to flourish, Eliza found herself facing a new challenge, balancing her growing success with the obligation to honor Tom's memory. One evening, while sorting through old photos, she stumbled upon a picture of Tom in front of the bakery, his smile wide and infectious. Tears filled her eyes as she whispered, I hope I am making you proud. The next day, she met with Daniel to discuss expanding the bakery as a reach. I want to start a scholarship for young aspiring bakers in Tom's name. He always believed in nurturing talent, Eliza said, her heart heavy yet determined. That is a beautiful idea, Eliza, Daniel replied softly. It'll honor his memory and inspire the next generation. Let us make it happen. Eliza's spirit soared as they mapped out the steps to create the scholarship. It felt like a piece of Tom was living on through her ambition, and that fueled her resolve to keep pushing forward. As they finalized the plan, Daniel looked at her with a warmth that made her heart flutter. You are doing incredible things, Eliza. Your strength is inspiring, and I am proud to be a part of your journey. Thank you, Daniel. Your support has meant the world to me. I never thought I'd find my way back after everything, she replied, her voice filled with emotion. You've proven that even in the darkest times, hope can illuminate the path forward, he said, a soft smile gracing his lips. Together, they crafted a vision for the scholarship, and soon it became a reality. As they launched the program, Eliza felt an overwhelming sense of joy, knowing that through this initiative, she was giving back to the community that had wrapped its arms around her during her darkest hours. The first scholarship ceremony filled the bakery with laughter, pride, and the scent of pastries. Eliza stood before a group of bright-eyed young bakers, ready to embark on their culinary journeys. Just remember, beauty can emerge from the most challenging times, she encouraged them. Your dreams are valid, and this community will support you every step of the way. As applause filled the air, Eliza felt her heart swell. She had come so far from the widow who was mocked. Now she stood as a testament to resilience, love, and the beauty of the human spirit. In the years that followed, sweet dreams thrived, each pastry